Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Exploring DC, where we take a piece of DC and explore it with you. I am your host, Josh. With me, as always, are my co hosts, Jackson and Jalen. How are we doing?
Loki, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Show it.
2 full packs of double yum if you want some.
If I want some,
Yeah, like if you want some, I can give you one. I already plowed through like a whole pack today. I got 2 more. I'm ready to eat it. I love bubble gum.
yeah.
Even though
Are
I can't
those
really blow bubbles, but I fuck with some good gum for
are those
real.
right next to the sunflower seeds, or are they
I don't
somewhere
fuck with
else?
sunflower seeds like that.
I don't either. I
Not since
feel
I was
like that's
batting
so
360 in the
gross.
little league.
Yeah.
Back in my day, I used to bat a mean 360 for real.
No, I bet.
And I used to really fuck up some sunflower seeds then, but I've always still been more of a bubblegum guy. They didn't have my usual, which is like the Trident orange
Yeah.
gum. That's what I usually go for. They didn't have it at the gas station. So for some reason I bought 3 packs of double or bubble yum, even though I probably only needed like one. Uh
And so far, has it been good?
it's been good. As I said, I made the mistake of putting 2 of these in my mouth at the same time, and these are like pretty hefty pieces of gum. So it was
Yeah.
truly a struggle to bite up and down. Sometimes it hurt my jaw by the end of it, but
Right.
overall it was a pretty good experience. I would recommend eating this gum.
Good.
I give it like a 7 out of 10. It holds on to the flavor for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Uh, More so
So
than the
your
Wrigley gum. The Wrigley gum doesn't really hold on to the flavor like that.
so your
Jackson, let me get this straight.
jaws were being put to work, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Josh.
Let me get this straight. You gave this bubble yum, the same level of enjoyment as Justice League, directed by
So,
Joss
Josh,
Whedon.
here's the thing. I think that you're a stupid piece of shit for bringing that up. That was about,
That
I don't
wasn't
know,
a
fucking 10 years ago. So, how about you shut the fuck up and just
listeners,
listen
for
to
the
my gum
record.
review?
Originally, getting out of the theater, Jackson Wells
I
rated
was in
Justice
high
League
school, you
7 out
piece
of
of
10.
shit. I was
So
in
was
high
I.
school.
So was well,
So
actually.
was I. And how fast did I switch up? You were there. How fast did I switch up?
I wasn't there that long ago. I just remember it being a
Oh, but you
thing.
know about this.
I
Oh,
know. I
but
know
you
about
know
the
about this. But you
lore.
weren't
Yeah,
there.
I wasn't
You act
there.
like you know me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jalen,
you
how are
act like you
you?
know me. You stupid sack of shit.
I'm doing good, man. I don't have the big bombastic jaw exercise thing that Jackson just went on, but hey, man, I'm doing good.
You
I'm
got to
doing
make
good.
sure your jaw is in shape, Jalen.
I feel
Yeah,
like
man,
I
I
always
gotta get a
give.
jawline like yours, man.
I feel like
You
I
got
always
to
give
keep your jaw
Jackson
in
the
shape.
weirdest introduction, and then I just get a quick "Hey, Jalen, how are you?"
Yeah, because Jackson got it, man, with the jaw monologue about how his
Yeah.
I
jaws are
also
just.
I also plowed through almost this entire thing in the car. It's got peanut butter chocolate. It's peanut butter chocolate trail mix.
Yeah.
Pretty good shit. I
I'm
had a
glad you're.
giant icy. I had popcorn. I had a Freddy's cheeseburger. Y'all got Freddy's where you are? Jalen, I
No.
know you know what Freddy's is, right?
I have no clue what that is.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You live in North Carolina.
What is that? What is
It's a
Freddy's?
burger place.
Mm-mm.
What? I thought that
We're
was like a
going to Freddy's the
Klondike
next time
bar.
you're. We are
I thought that
going
was
to
like a
Freddy's the next time you're in Charlotte.
which is next Friday, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I did know this.
yeah, we just
We're going to
Jackson
Freddy's.
just
We're going
Yeah.
to
we're
Freddy's.
already 4 minutes into this episode, and Abby has still not talked.
That unless Abby's vegetarian ass has something to add to our conversation about cheeseburgers, she don't need to say
Mm-mm.
anything.
Guys, with us we have a new guest for the first time, Abby, Jackson Wells' girlfriend. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're also good. Abby, I'm gonna give me some favorites. Give me some favorite movies, shows, characters, DC related. What do you got? Just
Oh
off the
man.
dome. Don't think about
Peacemaker.
it. Okay.
I really like King Shark. He's very underrated.
Okay. That's good.
Wait,
um
we're talking specifically King Shark from the movie The Suicide Squad, correct?
yes.
Okay.
I haven't seen what's he in the Harley Quinn show, right?
He is in the.
Yeah, he's actually
You would
really
love
good
him in that show.
He's really good in that
Well,
show.
I've seen the one clip of him yelling in the jail cell.
That's one of
But
my.
that's it.
That's one of the best scenes of him.
Yeah, he ends up having 50 kids in the Harley Quinn show, and
Wait,
then
what the
becomes like a
fuck?
dad.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even know about this.
The lore goes crazy. That's
Oh my god.
awesome. Yeah, King Shark also good in the Flash for like the few times he's in
Oh
it
yeah,
because he gets to go
because
up
he's a
against Gorilla
hammerhead in
Grodd.
that, right?
Yes, and like I remember when he fought Grodd, that was like one of the only impressive instances on the CW of like VFX because it
Yeah.
was very rare. Cool. Yeah, Abby, that's a good transition because we're talking about Peacemaker season 1, right? Getting into season 2. Peacemaker is forced to join the mysterious Argus Black Ops squad, Project Butterfly, who are on a mission to identify and eliminate parasite butterfly-like creatures who have taken over our human bodies around the world. Creator, showrunner, writer James Gunn. Guys, I don't want to talk more about James Gunn. I think we've
We
talked.
know who Big Jim is.
We know him. But yeah, he only directed 5 of the 8 episodes here. He did not do all 8, and we had some other directors: Jody Hill, Rosemary Rodriguez, and Brad Anderson, who all don't have like any extensive careers. Do you feel like any transition from episode to episode were
No.
ones that he didn't direct? Because I don't. I feel like it all flows pretty well, and I think
Yep.
that's because he was the writer for all of it, which is really a smart choice to prioritize.
Yeah, you really couldn't tell. There wasn't any like jarring, you know, cinematography changes
Yeah.
or, tone changes or anything like that, which, I think recently some shows, since that is kind of a constant with recent television, is that different directors on different episodes or different pairings of episodes, and you can feel that, like Daredevil Born Again. That is like a
Hawkeye.
prime example. Yeah, Hawkeye.
Fucking Hawkeye was terrible in that regard.
Yeah, Hawkeye, Daredevil Born Again, where you could really feel that, like that jarring of like, okay, two completely different people directed
Yeah.
this, and obviously some are better than others, but with this, man, I genuinely couldn't feel it.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, if I could bounce off of that, this does feel like old school network television where there is like a very uniform style. Granted, it's a bit different because Gunn directed the bulk of this, but uh even something like, you're gonna laugh when I bring this up, something like Andor feels very consistent. Feels very consistent in terms of its visuals, but you still have a lot of directors stepping in and kind of adding their own voice to it. Peacemaker is definitely like not that. It is very much like I don't know, like if we're talking Daredevil, it's more like the original Daredevil series where there is like that uniform vision of how the show looks and is shot. Very consistent language.
it is. Yeah, consistency is the key word, and carries it
And
from.
if I sorry to cut you off, if I could add one more thing to that, this show does kind of continue Gunn's like fascination with wide angle lenses, especially during the fight scenes. I don't know if any of you guys picked that up on rewatch, but it's very much, at least to me, felt like a precursor to a lot of what he would do with Superman.
Yeah, he developed that pretty much around when the Suicide Squad was coming out.
Yeah,
One of his
yeah,
first ones
Suicide
too.
Squad, and especially in this,
And
this is
Guardians as
where
well.
I first like
3.
really started to take note of it.
Yeah. Music here. John Murphy was busy composing Volume 3 of Guardians around this time, so they brought in Clint Mansell and Kevin Kiner.
That's an
Jackson,
old relic.
how do we feel about these guys? These guys have some DC TV
They
history
do.
because they worked on Titans and Doom Patrol, at least Clint did, and then Kevin Kiner worked on Creature Commandos. They both collaborated on that one as well.
I thought Kevin did Doom Patrol as well.
Oh yes, he did.
Yeah,
That's right. So
I'm
yeah,
curious to see
they
if
worked together a few times.
I'm curious to see if these guys stick around for the new Peacemaker series, because that would be like a really bizarre relic of the old DC TV
Yeah.
world.
How do you feel about their score here?
Oh, it's
Anything
fun.
stand out?
Yeah, I mean it's very needle drop centric, but it's
It is.
it's a good time. I love Kevin, Sean, and Dina. They're both. I mean, obviously, he's a Star Wars geek. They're legends. They've done so much of that stuff, and I like a lot of their work on DC as well.
Yeah, particularly their Doom Patrol scores are
Really
really,
good,
really,
really
really
good.
good. Titan scores, it's there. But cast here, John Cena comes back, obviously as Peacemaker. They brought back Jennifer Holland and Steve Agee, which they set up at the end of the Suicide Squad in that post-credit scene. And then also Viola Davis is like in brief moments of this. But new people, we have Danielle Brooks as Adebayo, Freddie Stroma as Vigilante, Chukwudi Iwuji as Clemson Mern, and Robert Patrick as Peacemaker's father, the White Dragon. The only interesting cast thing here that I know about is that Freddie Stroma wasn't the original Vigilante. That was Chris Conrad, who was actually Johnny Cage in the really bad Mortal Kombat Annihilation movie from like the 90s, if you guys have ever seen that one. but he doesn't have a lot of other credits to his name. But he left from creative differences, so something went wrong with him. But he filmed 5 episodes, and
Josh,
so
are you listening? Sorry to cut you off. Are you listening to the Peacemaker podcast that they're doing right now?
no, I haven't. I haven't had the chance to. Have they
Yeah,
mentioned
I
this?
think they mentioned, or like James mentioned on there, just they filmed everything with him, but like something wasn't clicking. Like he just didn't have that charm he was looking for, and so that's why they cast Freddie. It was just because,
You okay?
yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious if we ever see those like some of those clips
That's
of
what I'm saying. I kind of want to see. I get why they wouldn't release it, but I'm fascinated to just see what that original version looked like because it seemed like it was a very different take on the character, just performance wise,
Mhm.
based on who they cast.
Was it more like serious? Because I do know that this version of Vigilante in the comics is basically like a Daredevil ripoff. Like he's a lawyer. He is the second iteration of Vigilante.
Mhm.
He's kind of like a mashup of Daredevil and Punisher. Like he's a
Hmm.
lawyer by day, and then he goes out and brutalizes criminals by night. So was that kind of more in line with
Well,
what the
I'm not
performance?
under the impression the writing changed as much, just as much as the
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 performance
performance,
aspect.
right?
performance. Gotcha.
It's interesting too is that we've never really had a like you said, Jalen, like a comics accurate Adrian Chase because the one we got on Arrow as well, they did a heel turn and they
Exactly.
made him Prometheus and they completely changed his character. And so this is also like a way more goofy version of the character, which I think works for this show, but it's definitely, we haven't got a proper vigilante. Not that anyone's asking for it in that regard, but I don't know. Do you guys have any like cast standouts here from some of the new people they bring in? Because I'm a big Freddie Stroma and then Chukwudi Iwuji. I think are the two
Yep.
that I like
Yeah.
really
I love
like.
Mern.
hmm I was happy they brought him in for Guardians as well because he's a really strong actor.
it was because of this show that they ended up casting him in Guardians.
Yeah, I because he'd only done like some Broadway stuff mostly. I was watching some um, bonus features on my. Oh, by the way, subtle flex. I got the Blu-ray finally, so hopefully they put out a Blu-ray for season 2. But yeah, they had special features on there, and he said that he hadn't had a lot of film and TV credits before signing up for this. So it's cool to see him get more roles now, and hope he gets more stuff because he really is like a stoic standout
Hmm.
for the episodes that he's in.
Yeah,
But
he's basically the ultimate straight man, and it works really, 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 really well.
right.
He grounds the team a lot. Like I think the dynamic of everything kind of would have fallen flat on its face had it not been for him specifically.
Which is so interesting because he's the one non-human member of the
Yeah.
team, and yet he's the most like down to earth
Hmm.
character. How do you guys feel about Freddie Stroma coming in as vigilante
He
here?
has the funniest scene in the whole show.
Which scene is
Yeah.
that?
The
The
scene in the
prison scene.
prison, of
Yeah,
course.
Yeah. That scene in the
yeah.
prison is iconic at this
Yeah.
point.
I think he's my favorite of the new characters. I think that was such a smart move to bring in a second like hero type character to balance out because otherwise you would have just had everyone building around Peacemaker and it would have been really not as interesting of a team. But I think having like your Deadpool light without all the reference humor and fourth wall breaking works surprisingly well. And but that is to say, my first like gripe here, just general gripe of this show, and this is vigilante centric, is that there's a lot of bits here do not land
I agree.
near as much as the Suicide Squad. I think it's trying to go for 100 and it does not, joke wise.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, because that's kind of something that I feel a little bit in the Peacemaker season 2 trailer a tiny bit, which was my main gripe with this whole season is that, and when watching it the first time around, most of the jokes
Mm-hmm.
landed for me, but some of the stuff didn't. Like the constant Aquaman, fish stuff. That type of stuff didn't necessarily land for me. Except for at the end, which it was kind of funny, but
Yeah.
it still didn't really elicit as big of a reaction as I was hoping for. But it definitely does feel like at times the bit does go a little too long, or
Mm-hmm.
it does feel a little and I hate to use because I love the MCU, but MCU-y, where it's very
Mm.
like
Yeah.
on the nose, very like obviously trying to add some levity to a scene or trying to add some levity to a serious conversation, and it doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
work because it's like a tone bend. You know what I mean?
I think in terms of like the Aquaman stuff or like the dye beard, James Gunn seems to be a really big fan of jokes that pay off in the end. So I think that's why he mentioned them so much. Because then at the end, we Aquaman, and then like the whole dye beard thing. He like has that whole bit where he's like, "Yeah, I've been dyeing my beard, yada yada yada."
And there's a bit of an emotional like payout for it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
recurring jokes are not my issue with this one. It's more so when they stop a scene to do like a
Yes.
2 minute bit. And there's two that are specific. One is like when they're in the what is the room that his dad has, like the gateway thing, and they're grabbing the
Yeah, I know what
helmets
you're
and they
talking
do
about.
like a whole 3 minute segment on like Duck and like Ducks being in a costume, and I'm like, this doesn't flow, and it cuts off the whole scene. But there's another specific one that hurt the most is when Peacemaker kills his dad, and it's like a big moment in
Mhm.
that second to last episode. And then Vigilante's like, Peacemaker, you need to stop doing your facial exercises, and it's like
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
flat bit for me that completely cut off
Yeah.
everything I was feeling like in
Which
that
is
moment.
interesting because I feel like James Gunn is a writer who usually avoids that,
He doesn't
especially in
normally do
other
that.
projects, like especially in Guardians. He's very careful about where he places his jokes in those. I feel like, but yeah, you're right. There are like a couple moments in this show where the jokes kind of just derail the momentum of the scene.
And it sucks because there also are plenty of like great stuff. Like I
Yeah.
love the bit in the first episode with the janitor guy.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good.
It's
And
hilarious.
I think there's so many fun the thing with Eagly in the finale where they're trying to get him to go fly that shit over to the top of the barn. Like there's bits that really work in this, and that's why it's sad that like some stuff is just like completely flat. And the reason it's annoying is because of how long he lets it play out. Even so, like a lot of the post credit scenes are just extended versions of like bits and stuff. Strengths though, Jalen, what do you feel like with this show? I know you've been kind of weaker on it than us,
Mhm.
but what do you feel
Yeah.
like are a strong point of this show? Maybe even compared to like the Suicide Squad.
Easily the emotion. I think that it definitely carries from from the Suicide Squad into
Mhm.
this, where it's like we got emotional over Ratcatcher's origin and all that other stuff, and then like that conversation on the bus is such a small moment in the Suicide Squad, but it gets me, like it moves me every single time. In this, I never thought that I would cry over Peacemaker praying over an eagle, but it and this is all a credit to James Gunn's writing because he has such a way of like infusing these emotional bits without making it feel too forced or like for instance, like it is very easy to drop the ball on a raccoon who was abused. You know what I mean? It's very easy to take
Yeah.
that or inadvertently take that in a direction where it's like, man, this is corny. Like, why are we caring about this? Why are we caring about a raccoon who can talk? You know what I mean? Where it's like it takes you out of it for a moment because it is so, fantastical. But James Gunn's, and like I said, this is all a credit to his writing, in which he can make you truly care about these things and truly make you care about these situations that could easily go left. And it's amazing to me because that is one of my favorite moments is that moment where it's like you don't know if Eagly is going to live or Eagly is going to die, and then you just have John Cena giving a master class. You know what I mean? And you feel it, and I think that John Cena and also Adebayo too was like a real
She's
surprise for
fantastic.
me. Yeah, she is amazing, and I mean she got a supporting actress nomination, you know what I mean? Like I think a year after this. So or 2 years after this. So I'm definitely excited to see her going forward, but definitely
Wait,
for
what did
me
she
it
get
is
nominated for?
The
Color
Color Purple.
Purple.
She was
Oh,
incredible
really?
in that. She
Hmm.
was insanely good in
Oh,
that,
cool.
dude.
I did not know that. Or I
Yeah,
probably didn't know that, but I'd forgotten. That's really cool.
yeah, but like she is a powerhouse, but so is John Cena. Like, you can tell that John Cena truly cares about this character and cares about
Right.
this
Hmm.
story and this world. Like you can really feel it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, I would say John Cena is like the main highlight for me.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly sincere show, even more so than the Suicide Squad, where there are
Yeah,
really like TV moments. There's a lot of stuff with especially Adebayo and Peacemaker and them just bonding to a level that like you don't really see in maybe some of Gunn's films. You get to see it play out more here,
yeah.
and it's like I love that the ending of this too is very like just everyone's going getting happy endings and doing their own thing. It's not something you
It's
typically
almost
see.
sappy.
It is. It's very sappy, but I like it, and
I do too.
it made me very happy. Yeah, that's a good point, Jalen. Let me transition to that. John Cena here. We liked him all in the Suicide Squad. We thought he was like a fun character. Maybe not even the standout of that movie necessarily, but definitely one to keep an eye on. Jackson, how do you feel like he evolves it here? Do you think he really plays with it more, or is it just kind of like extended to
Well,
8 episodes
okay, I might be wrong here, but is this not John Cena's first leading role
in a
um,
TV show or in general?
in general?
I would have to double check that because there might be some random movie that he's the lead in.
Yeah, I
But this
mean,
is
this
his
is
first
certainly
major
his
project.
biggest outing as a leading actor, and I
Yeah.
think he really does prove that he has the chops.
Mm,
Because he's great in Suicide Squad, but he's also not the emotional core of that movie.
no.
In this, he has to kind of be the heart and soul of it, and I think he handles it with a lot of grace. Like I think he's really, 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 really good in this show.
Yeah. More so that even I think his like dramatic moments work a lot better than his comedic moments, even though
Yes.
they
Yeah.
both work.
No, I'd say whenever he gets like dramatic or he's like really in the trenches, you feel it.
Hmm. Abby, this is one of your new favorite DC characters. Is this because of this show, or is it from the Suicide Squad and it just kind of carried over?
So I had known about Peacemaker since it came out, but I never watched it.
Okay.
I just knew that my parents, both my parents liked it, which is shocking. And then my brother watched it, and I was like, okay, like this seems fun. I'll check it out, and I never did. And then I think it was last year when Creature Commandos was coming out, and Jackson was like, all right, we need to prep. And so we watched the Suicide Squad, and just seeing John Cena on screen as the Peacemaker, I was like, all right, I
Yeah.
need to watch the show now. And then I
Right.
like blasted through it in 2 days and
Cool.
just fell in love.
Do you feel like he does more with the character in this compared to the movie?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I
That's
mean,
cool.
he's just given more room to grow.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that they even give him a lot with his origin. I thought we had more than what we do, so I'm hoping they go into it more in season two because it seems like they're going to with this alternate
Yeah,
Earth. Because we get some flashbacks and we find out like how his dad feels, but we don't really get like a full flashback episode or anything like that to really
yeah.
dive into like where he's at psychologically.
Do you think we need a flashback episode or like a whole segment
I
dedicated to that?
I would say so. We need an episode to show his relationship with his brother because we really didn't get a lot of it.
Well, I guess that depends on what role his brother plays in this new season.
Well, considering like his brother is someone that he inadvertently kills and it's like motivated him and his father's relationship, I don't really know what his brother's like
Yeah.
based on this show. And that's what I want to learn.
Okay.
We're going to see like the adult version, alternate future of his brother. I want to see like, you know, what the
Gotcha.
actual version of his brother is. And that's why I'd like them to go back because
Okay.
we get a little bit of flashback, but it's really not. It just sets up the basics. And I would love to, because I think they're bringing back Robert Patrick too
Yeah,
based
he's
on
in
the
the
end of
trailer.
this show. So I'm curious to see how they bring things in.
Speaking of bringing actors back, do you think they bring the actor for Mern back at some point, even if it's
I
not
heard they
as Mern?
didn't. I heard they didn't bring him back, and he's just going to be watching the show as a fan. Like he knows nothing about it.
Well, I more mean like, do you think this could be someone that Gunn puts as a new character and kind of uses that canon loophole.
Yes.
He did mention that he wanted to bring him back as something else.
I don't think he comes back as Myrn or the butterfly or anything like that. I think that character just kind of served its purpose, but I think he could do an alternate role, kind of like how they do Sean Gunn as a bunch of roles and stuff like that. And but yeah, I don't think he's gonna be in season 2 in that capacity. It'd be cool to see him, but I don't think any of the characters have a huge connection to Myrn. And now that the body's been like of use to the butterfly, it's not gonna be much. How do we feel about there's a controversial thing that some people have that James Gunn brings all his friends in, right? And so two of his wife, Jennifer Holland's a main role in this, and then also Steve Agee's like one of his good friends that's in this is Economos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like they're justified roles in this, or do we feel like they kind of are there just because James Gunn wants them to?
I think they both work.
Yeah. Which one do you prefer in this one?
That's a great question.
I think Holland brings like a good. Sorry, what were we gonna say, Jalen? I'll let you go first.
No. I was saying that was a really good question. You got it, and then I'll probably bounce off of yours.
Yeah, I mean, for starters, I've always said that I refuse to criticize Gunn for always casting his friends because I would do the same shit. Like I just would, and I think most people would. Like if we're being honest with ourselves, like most of us in that situation would probably do the same thing. Also, on top of that, a lot of his friends that he casts are established actors in their own right. Like Michael Rooker, especially Nathan Fillion. Like Nathan Fillion has a very deep portfolio of acting. Sean Gunn even has done stuff outside of like Gilmore Girls. Like he's in shit. Like, so I don't know. I never found it to be a completely fair critique. Also, just on the fact that I've never really felt like it's detracted from what Gunn has made. Like it's we'll see with Maxwell Lord. That might be the first one for me that like really doesn't work. But like up until this point, there hasn't been a point where I feel like Gunn's just stunt casted his friends and it's detracted from the film film or show he was making.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Jackson. I guess starting at that point of like casting his friends, that's like all films, you know what I mean? I feel like once you have an established connection with the person, you kind of know how they work as an actor, and you can kind of, that
you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely know what you're getting, and I think that he hasn't really missed on any casting. Not that I can personally think of. I can't think of anyone that he is terribly miscast. Sean Gunn, like I said, might be kind of like Jackson said. That might be the one that I am needing a little bit more convincing on. But everyone else has kind of done their thing with these characters, and I guess to segue that into Economos and Harcourt, I wasn't terribly like impressed, but I think they both work. I think they both serve their purpose. Harcourt is really cool. Like she's really, really, really cool. She gets some of the best fight scenes in the series. And I also saw like a clip where she like the part of the bar fight scene that she has in season 2. Really, really, really well done. Really well shot. So they both work. They both serve their purpose. I think my main issue was when DC themselves or Zaslav or whoever was trying to push them into other stuff, like trying to push Harcourt and Economos into forming
that was silly
the new Justice League that had nothing to do with James Gunn. That was kind of like,
well,
okay,
I
why
think
them?
I think that's even funnier because Gunn had nothing to do with that.
Exactly.
Weird.
That's why that shit is like when Harcourt shows up in Black. Abby just watched Black Adam for the first time the other day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think of seeing Harcourt in that? Because I don't know if you knew about that ahead of time.
Yeah, no, I was watching it and I saw her and I was like, wait, what is Jennifer Holland doing here? And at first I thought she was just playing a different character, and then I found out she was playing Harcourt. I was like, huh?
Yeah,
it's crazy that Jennifer Holland and Henry Cavill have the same amount of DCEU.
Jesus Christ, that's right. That's so funny. That's funny.
She appeared in Fury of the Gods trying to recruit Shazam to the Justice Society.
Yeah,
that's the funniest one.
Wait, Abby, have you seen?
Scene.
I haven't seen that yet. No.
Oh well, there you go.
I'm so sorry, Abby. We just spoiled Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Oh no!
I know that's horrible. I know you're really excited about watching that.
Yeah, my thing. I like Jennifer Holland a lot. I think that That character hardcore is a really good balance for Peacemaker, and I'm excited to see where they go with that. I am not completely sold on John Economos yet. I get the character, I get the archetype. I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like they give him enough to do in this. And usually, when bits aren't landing, it's either him or Vigilante. But the difference is Vigilante also has some of the best bits, and
Yeah.
Economos just has a lot of the worst
Economos is
ones.
probably my least favorite of the core
Yeah,
team.
and also this is like not relevant, I guess, but he sucked in Creature
He
Commandos,
did.
and like that feeds into my mind too. And I need
Yeah.
him. I need them to like have a redemption because the best parts with him are the very last episode,
Yeah.
and I want more of that as opposed to like just him kind of lounging around for
Agreed.
8 episodes again. Um, yeah, that covers a lot of the main characters. Maybe we could touch on Robert Patrick as well, being
Great.
like, an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah.
Really great. Captures
Yeah,
that racism. Captures that racism to a T, man.
Yeah. It's
You
kind
know?
of scary how
Yeah,
convincing he is
exactly.
as just
He was
a
very
horrible
good.
piece of. It,
yeah, I love how just unwavering he is. Like from the first moment you see him, he is just like there's no compassion at all, and I kind of respect
yeah.
that dedication to the whole
Yeah,
thing.
and it's one of those kind of almost rare instances where Gunn really completely lacks empathy for his villain character.
Hmm.
Because
He truly
generally
just is.
speaking, like you're looking at Guardians 2, you're looking at the Suicide Squad especially. Gunn tends to have a lot of sympathy for his antagonists. This is one where it just doesn't.
Yeah, he's just there's no redeeming factors. It's just a bad person. And even like people specifically say that in the show
Yeah.
multiple times. I think it's a great secondary threat for Peacemaker because he really
Yeah.
doesn't have a deep connection to the butterfly stuff. And so to give him like a very character centric threat to go off of is a
Which
great choice.
I think that's why I kind of find that whole storyline more investing.
Yes, because bounce off that, Jackson. How do you feel about the butterfly stuff?
I like the butterfly stuff. I think it's cool, but I just like I always found myself gravitating towards anything relating to his father. You know?
Right. Because it's just there's more to it, and that's something now that I didn't think I was going to be excited with in season 2 when they were showing me that alternate future, but now I'm a little more curious to see what they do with it.
That's part of why I'm getting excited for season 2 because both of those storylines sound really fucking interesting to me.
Yeah, with the Rick Flag stuff, and
The
then
flag
also
stuff
with
seems really interesting, and so does the alternate universe.
yeah, it seems like it's going to be a lot more Peacemaker focused than team focused,
Yeah.
which is an interesting change. But Abby, how do you feel about the butterfly stuff? Because that's a big part of this show is them having to solve what's going on there, and also a lot of characters get invaded and become butterflies on their own. Do you feel like that is a strong enough plot line for an 8 episode show like this?
Yeah, no, I definitely liked it. I think my favorite is when Peacemaker finds a butterfly and he takes care of it, and then
Yeah,
that leads into something bigger. So yeah, no, I definitely think it worked for me though.
no, I like what they do with Goff a lot. The butterfly and showing Peacemaker's like compassion for it is really cool. I'm curious how much Goff will be in season 2 based on the end of season 1, if she's in it at all.
Goff.
The
Goff
main
is.
butterfly.
Oh yeah. Have we?
We just see at the very end of season 1 with
Yes.
Peacemaker.
Yes. Okay.
But I'm curious how long she would even survive because he doesn't have a ton of food supply.
Yeah.
So maybe they just
Yeah,
even retcon that and don't bring her back at all.
they could. I mean, I I think there will be some payoff for that.
Yeah.
Gun is really good for that. But even like when it comes to bro, when those two cops whose names I forgot, when that whole police station gets overtaken by butterflies, I was like, I remember the very first time I watched that, I was like so taken aback because it seemed like they were setting them up to be more of like, you know, more of like I guess threats to to Peacemaker and to the team and all that other stuff. And then when it happens, it throws you for such a loop. And it's like, and then they reveal that once you get infected by a butterfly, you're dead. there is no
Mhm.
more you. It is just the butterfly controlling your body. And I was like, wow. And it was kind of bleak, but it was also at the same time like really cool. And it was really like bold at the same time to do that. Like I love when writers and when directors and storytellers take these like big swings where it's like you have these characters and you set them up for like really, really, really big things. And then you just throw a loop and it's like that character is either very much changed or they die or whatever. Like that's why I love Game of Thrones so much. Like there's one moment in season 3 for any of our listeners out there, if you are Game of Thrones fans, you know exactly the moment that I'm talking about. But there's a moment in season 3 at the very end of season 3 where it's like this character is literally being built up to be like one of the biggest characters throughout the entire show, and then something happens that just leaves you just sitting there in shock for a really long time. Josh, you've seen Game of Thrones, right? Have you
Bits
not?
and pieces, but I haven't
Bits and
I haven't
pieces.
watched the
Okay,
full
okay.
thing yet.
Either
Yeah.
way, I think moments like that play well, and that moment where the butterflies are unleashed upon the police station, that plays really well.
Also, to bounce off that scene also has the best needle drop in the entire season.
You think so?
I
Yes.
love that needle drop.
It is pretty. Yeah. Another good needle drop though. I guess it's not a needle drop because it's like every episode, but I love
yes.
the theme, right? Like we can't not talk about one of the most iconic intros of, I would say, superhero television of the past like 10 years or so.
Gunn got an even better song for season 2. That's crazy.
I'm excited,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know like what possessed him to create an intro like this where everyone is just like stoically dancing, but it's such
so good.
a beautiful contrast that I love. I love that no one's like looks excited to be there. They're all just like straight faced, but doing the most ridiculous shit possible. And I also love that you can tell Robert Patrick can't do the choreography at all when you watch it, and so he's just like very awkwardly moving back there.
Abby, had you seen the intro before you'd watched the show?
That's a good question.
Oh, did you know about it?
Did I? I mean, I may have known about it, but like I'd never seen the whole thing in full. And then bouncing off of the whole Robert Patrick, right? Yeah, apparently he was the worst dancer from season 1.
Yeah.
And so that's why Gunn only gave him that little like thrust bit.
You can see him in the back when they do like the big wide shot of everyone trying to do the choreography like in sync. He just can't do it.
Yeah, no.
He's like completely off,
so
and it's
funny.
awesome.
I hope he's in the dance scene for season 2. Like,
yeah, no, he is. I heard
is he?
He does a better job. And then
That's
of
good.
the worst this coming season, I think
They said Frank Grillo.
Right? Yeah.
That's
I
funny
believe
too.
that.
Yeah, I want to see what they do with this next intro.
I know. I'm just like
I'm just top
because God, what we're like less than a week away at this point, right?
Yeah. So the time recording, yeah.
I need them not to post it. Like that's my biggest fear is that they're gonna post the intro before the episode drops, and I think that's like that would have been like releasing the Trinity scene in Oppenheimer, like before the movie came out.
Oh, it's that level of importance.
It's that level. Like I just don't think you can release that intro until the episode drops. That would just be a disservice.
Yeah, I did not skip. I don't skip intros in general, but like I just love watching. I think it's so fun, and incorporates every character, which is cool. Like you don't get a lot of intros.
Here's the big question: is he gonna make Nathan Fillion do the dance?
Even though he's only in one episode?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they made the janitor do the dance.
Say the janitor did it.
But the janitor's in 2 episodes, right?
Is that true?
Yeah, because he's in the episode where they do the school.
You're right.
Which is also very funny. That's a funny bit.
Still, do we think Nathan Fillion is for? I think Gunn is going to make him...
If he's in more than one episode, because then you have to do Maxwell Lord do it and Hawkgirl.
No, you don't. You can just make Nathan Fillion do it.
You just make Nathan Fillion do
it. You just solely make Nathan Fillion do the intro.
Dance. That sounds like something Gunn would do. I'm not gonna lie, but
it does. We'll see. Yeah, but love that thing too. I think most of the needle drops are not bad in this.
No, they're all good.
And it's a lot of like classic rock, which is pretty sick.
Did you hear that Gunn said the soundtrack for Peacemaker season 2 is his favorite soundtrack he's ever assembled?
Then those are big words.
Those are big words.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna live up to. I don't want to set my expectations that high because some of the Guardians movies have some of the best soundtracks in my opinion. Yeah. Um, Jackson, any other weak points to this besides the humor here?
We pretty much talked about everything that detracts from the
No,
show for me. I just overall have a really fun time with this one. I liked it a lot more on rewatch.
I did too. Jalen,
This isn't even really a gripe, but little Viola Davis, and she wasn't even needed for real. I just want more Viola
mm-hmm.
Davis.
No, I
I
agree with you there, Jalen. Like
I love her
I
so
would have
much.
liked for her to actually be a part of the show's ensemble.
Exactly.
I
Because
would
Can you
too.
she's
imagine
so good.
can you imagine how interesting that would be to have like Waller kind of, and she doesn't even have to be
Yeah.
in every episode, but just like some certain episodes, and you kind of build out that relationship with Adebayo a little bit more, and then you build out that relationship with Peacemaker a
I
little bit
actually do
more,
agree with that.
and it's like,
I
mind you,
want
like,
that Waller show.
yeah, bro, me too. I need it, especially because it is the Peacemaker. When James said the Peacemaker team, did he mean the writers or did he mean the actual like Economos hardcore
I
that
have no
team?
idea.
Either way, I need that show, man. Just because Viola Davis is such a powerhouse, like she is the
Mm-hmm.
biggest actor they have right now signed to this universe. So I really, really, really hope they make it.
Do we think we see her in this next season?
Yes, but not
Yeah,
in a full capacity because they would have announced her as part of like the cast if she was like in a lot of it. I think, but we'll
yeah.
we'll have to see. How did you feel about some of the other like cameo stuff and references to the because we get a lot of references to DC people, like both big
Okay.
and small in this.
On that, I'm curious if like the references are that consistent in this new season.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna be a lot more careful now. That He's like establishing something.
I think that the Green Arrow reference and the Batmite references are absolutely going to lead to something. I
Oh yeah,
the Aquaman, Wonder Woman,
He
Flash.
actually I
Go
hate to
ahead.
cut you off. He
Yeah, yeah,
specifically
yeah.
said that he didn't think Batmite was canon.
Did
that
he?
sucks.
Well, but that makes me think he was going to do Batmite at some point.
Yeah,
He's definitely going to do
big
Batmite. He talks
introduction.
about Batmite at every single press
I
conference
know.
that
Well,
he
see,
that he
that's why
does.
I think he's retconning the Batmite thing, so that way he can actually do like a proper Batmite introduction.
Mm.
That's my theory.
I what I did like though about this season, like when I first watched it back a couple years ago, was just that it referenced like everything DC,
Yeah,
big
it
and
was so
small.
fun.
It's cool to like see him just reference like Green Arrow just off the whim, and
Mm-hmm.
also like Matter Eater Lad and like some of these like crazy pull, like Kite Man Jackson
Yeah,
gets a pull in
which he
here.
said Kite Man is still canon. I
That's
don't know if
good.
you heard that, but Kite Man is canon.
Your goat is safe.
And Gunn said that he could still be alive.
Mm-hmm. There you
That's
go.
big for me.
Yeah, but it carries over from Suicide Squad of the DC. These two DC things from the DCEU feel like the most lived in
Yeah, I would agree
compared
with
to
that
everything else,
specific point.
and that was really cool to see. And hopefully
Yeah.
that continues into obviously it has so far of Superman, but with season two. Abby, do you have any other points that you'd want to touch on with this show?
Oh
Or really,
man, I don't know. I can't think of anything right now.
yeah. I think
No.
we've covered a bit. Let me get everyone thumbs up, thumbs down, closing thoughts. Big thumbs up. There we go. Yeah. Do we feel like season two is going to be stronger or weaker
I think it'll be
than this
better.
season? You think so?
Stronger
I think there's a
for
lot to
sure.
build off of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious is maybe it gets caught up in DCU stuff that it gets lost of like some of the smaller
I don't
nature of
worry
it.
about Gunn doing that, to be honest with you.
You don't think so?
No.
My one concern is that like he was like you're gonna see where the DCU's building towards in this show or start to see, and then also with like alternate dimensions and stuff. I'm wondering if it's gonna lose some of that like
Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
11 Street Kids nature to it, but maybe not. Maybe if they focus on the team, it'll be good.
Yeah, I think even then, like when you're playing into multiverse, you want to
Yeah,
think the multiverse stories that have worked, like Everything Everywhere All at Once and Loki, for
Yeah.
instance, have all played less into the multiverse aspect, but more into how that aspect affects the character, that the titular character. You know what I mean? And I
Yes,
think most of the time the
that's a good
multiverse
point.
doesn't work when you are using it to, have a cameo fest or have this actor appear, this actor appear, this actor appear. Like, why are we using the multiverse in this specific story, or in this sense, alternate dimensions, which it basically is multiverse, but alternate dimensions and all this other stuff? Why are we utilizing that for Peacemaker, and how will that play into his emotional story of feeling kind of like worthless, hopeless, wanting to be on this level of like the Justice Gang and Superman and whatever other heroes are operating at this time, like Booster Gold and Supergirl and Batman and all these other heroes, but ultimately not, and falling short and still having that family trauma that he has to deal with. Like, how does this alternate reality play into that? And I think that Gunn is gonna absolutely kill that story wise.
Which is good. That's
Yeah.
exactly where, if they're gonna go that route, that's the direction they should take it. I'm excited, man. I'm glad we rewatched both of these, because both of these
Yeah.
just solidified that I kind of loved this little pocket of the DCEU that we were getting for a little bit, and I'm happy that even if it's confusing, it's still continuing on
Yeah.
in some form. And also, like, one other closing thought on this is just that it's fascinating. This is the one and only season of TV we ever got from this
It is.
prior
It is.
DCEU, and especially with the MCU kind of doing a lot of TV stuff, I'm surprised DC never tried to do anything in this realm
Yeah.
besides James Gunn pushing for this show. And I'm curious, what would you guys, Jackson and Jalen, have made for a DCEU TV show
Oh, I already know what
if they
Jackson would
actually
have
made
made for
another
a
one?
DCEU
Yeah.
TV show.
I'll let
I'm thinking
Jalen
of like
go.
something that you could build off of, like the films, or not something random like Green Lantern.
I Low key, I would have done a Black Manta series instead of whatever movie James Wan was
But they
planning.
were kind of gonna do that.
They
Yeah.
were, but I think it would have worked a little bit better as a series rather than a movie. Because one, no one is going to see a Black Manta movie. No one is going to see a Trench movie, like just off of face value, right? Granted, the trailers probably would have came out, and some people would have gotten interested in it. Probably would have made 100 mil and over. But I think as a show format, you like completely get to see Black Manta's character, his backstory, maybe how he got to the point that he was at, maybe his journey of like traveling all over the world to reach that trident that he tries to get in the Lost Kingdom. So yeah, I think I would have given it to Black Manta. Jackson.
Cyborg.
Cyborg, whole show instead of a movie.
Wow,
Would have been an
I did
expensive
not
show.
expect that. I
I
would have
mean,
expected Kite Man or
they're
something.
all expensive.
Yeah.
They're all expensive.
Yeah.
Well, hear me out, guys.
There you go.
What if we got like a Lex Luthor show? Like, just imagine
The Jesse
Jesse
Eisenberg Lex.
Eisenberg doing like the most random shenanigans. Like,
I
then he
love
could be
this.
his true,
Wait, I
silly,
love
goofy
this.
self.
I'm switching my answer to Jesse Eisenberg, the TV show.
It's called Granny's Peach TV.
This is. Oh, see, you even got the title. That shit's heat.
Yeah, there you go. The only one that I could think of that would be cool. Well, besides, I like how they're doing the Paradise Lost thing. I think that's a good idea to do an Amazon show
Yeah.
in some capacity. I think Birds of Prey should have done something more with it, and maybe TV would have worked better, because obviously that movie didn't do very good. But I
No.
thought that team was really. I love that movie, and that's so
Huntress is
underrated
cool.
of a team. Yeah, man, do Huntress and Black Canary, little buddy cop thing, and I'd watch that. Yeah, that's it. Next week we're gonna be off, and then we're gonna be talking about Peacemaker for the coming weeks. We do have a couple news things I want to touch on. Box office wise, Superman's still doing strong. Nothing crazy there. I think it officially passed Jurassic World domestically. It was about to, like, last weekend, but yeah, it is. And now it's only behind the Lilo and Stitch and Minecraft movie domestically, which is kind of bleak, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's coming to digital in the next
Friday.
week, and then or this week, yeah, right?
This Friday. That's too soon.
And then physical late September. So
Stupid move.
it's going to be winding down. I think it lasted a lot longer than some of these other ones, though.
Still a stupid move.
Yeah,
Look, I'm like a 2 or 3 months in theaters kind of guy, but
that would be nice. But at the same time, I'm like itching to
I get
watch
it.
this
Yeah,
one again. I'm not itching for the digital because I don't care about that. I want the Blu-ray like
I
right
do want the
now,
Blu-ray. Yeah,
or the 4K or whatever it is.
What do you guys
I'm,
think of the covers?
they're
Because
bad.
They're
yeah,
ugly. The steelbook covers are beautiful though.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, they got leaked a while ago. It's like the Fortress is one of them opening
Oh,
up.
I might
forget
have
what
to
the
go for the steelbook for this
I
one.
forget the other one is. Yeah, I don't know if those are like the actual for
For
sure
for
covers.
just for the reference for the viewers at home, I'm a big Blu-ray guy. I
Oh,
love
so am
me
I.
some Blu-rays, so I will definitely be starting a DCU section up there.
Yeah,
I was collecting all the MCU ones for a while. I kind of fell off. I get a couple I need to grab, but I'll
I got
definitely be starting a DCU shelf.
I do have this actually completed the
Did it
DCEU
really? You have the
collection.
whole thing.
I
That's
have the whole
cool.
thing, which is surprisingly easy to get if you guys are collectors because
Yeah, I'm sure a
they
lot
get
of those
relatively
movies you can
cheap
get for like $5 on
for five
Blu-ray.
pretty much. So I want them to get Creature Commandos out too, so I can start
Yes.
my DCU one because I liked that show and I'd like a physical of that as well. A couple other production things. My Adventures season 3. We kind of talked about this
We
one. I think
finally, yeah,
last
that we
week.
got an update like right as we bitched about that last week.
Yeah, the showrunner announced
Thank
that
God, I'm
post
excited.
production. So hopefully this year. Abby, have you seen that show? My
I
Adventures.
haven't, no,
It's
but
good.
I need to because
I've
I
been
like
trying to get her
Jack
to watch it.
Quaid. So
Yes, I love Jack Quaid as well. The best Nepo baby ever. But definitely, if you're a fan of the, I don't know, I didn't get your thoughts on the Superman movie. Well, but I follow your letterbox site. I saw you liked it. If you like that version and like kind of that tone, you're gonna like Adventures Superman because it's like even more so very hopeful, optimistic. We covered that one on the pod. So excited for season 3. The Batman Part 2 is filming next spring, according to David Zaslav. So we'll see if that like sticks out. But
That
I'm
movie's
pretty
gonna
sure
hit
that's
like
gonna.
crack when it comes out, dude. Like that first trailer.
Oh
Oh, that's
yeah,
gonna hit like crack.
I just
Cinema.
wish they'd move it up a
Cinema.
bit. It's so far away,
I know.
man.
I honestly, if nothing else, I wish we got another. And I can't believe I'm saying this, another show. Because I mean, I'm only saying that because of how good Penguin was.
I want a
I think
Catwoman
that
show.
Gotham PD show would have been cool if it
Oh,
That
actually
dude.
happened.
Gotham PD would have been
that would have been cool.
insanely good.
And dude, just seeing more of Gordon, like I just having Jeffrey Wright lead a show would have been just mwah.
I think they announced that like officially too at like Fandom a while ago, or they at least talked about it.
They
This was
did.
like years ago in like 2020, and it kept changing, and then it became an Arkham show,
Yeah.
and now it's just like gone, like it's dead. It was such a fascinating development because I remember like back when I was doing DC TV Center, I was posting about that show like a lot.
I have a question. This is news related. So, for those of you who don't know, like an entire like 1 hour Superman featurette leaked.
Yeah,
I have a question for the class.
You'd
go
let me
ahead.
interview you as Superman.
Got it. Great. Okay. Everything was
Whoa.
Okay,
Whoa.
so we
Whoa.
all saw that, right?
Whoa.
Yeah,
We all saw that.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Are they
Wait.
fucking? Yes or no?
Whoa.
That's the question.
Whoa. Okay,
I mean,
that is
That's crazy.
that's wild.
didn't they say that they like kissed like?
Whoa. Wait, Abby, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Josh,
I was gonna say, didn't they like
you want me to run it back? I can show
kiss for
you.
like 4 hours or something? What was that one thing?
Okay,
Bro,
all right.
what?
Here's my thing. Here's my thing.
Whoa.
I understand that like flirting is like part of the press tour.
No.
Like you play it up for the gimmick. You do. Like
Dog, that's
Fantastic Four,
crazy.
all the people leveling accusations against Vanessa Kirby and Pedro, I think, are stupid. I don't see it. This is different. I'm
Dog, that
telling
is
you, bro.
crazy. They yelled cut and she kept going. No, that is wild.
And he did not give
dude.
a fuck. Like that's crazy. Uh,
that reminds me of like when I was just talking about this the other day, like back in the Batman 1960s show, and Adam West and Burt Ward would just casually talk about how they would go to like hookup parties and stuff. This is the new era, man. Things are, good for them if they're both single.
well, they're
No,
both
they're
married.
married.
Oh, they're both married.
Married, and then he had a
as a
kid
kid,
during
bro.
Superman.
David as a kid.
Oh, bad for them. I don't keep up with that, man.
No, I just thought that was funny. But okay, if I can actually show another thing from that specific documentary, is this image.
Brainiac in the storyboards.
Well, Do we think this storyboard is for Superman? Because I do not.
No, I think it's for something else.
So what does this mean? It
Audio
means that
listeners,
this
it has
movie is never going to
Supergirl
get
in it.
released.
Which movie?
This movie. If history is
from
any
the storyboard?
indicator, we see Brainiac. That shit's never dropping.
But he's writing a new thing right now that could have Brainiac in it.
And I'm saying that thing he's not writing, I'm saying that's this, and that it's never going to release because Brainiac is in it.
Okay, then let's transition to that. David Zaslav officially said that he's directing, quote, the next chapter in the Super Family. We already kind of predicted this, that it was
yeah.
Superman and Supergirl, and now it seems like you can't really deny that.
I think that's awesome. I'm
So-
excited.
You're saying now, because of the Brainiac curse
That's
of
never going
every
to
Superman
the
sequel,
DC was going to die.
yeah,
If history repeats itself,
Gunn is a fool.
if history
There you
repeats
go.
itself,
Gunn is a fool. Peacemaker season 2 is going to burn. Supergirl's going to bomb. Clayface is going to like get deleted. Like it's all about to go up in flames just because Gunn drew that green little fucker on a sheet of paper.
There you go. Abby, do you like Brainiac? Are you familiar?
I don't know much about him. No.
He's really cool.
Yeah.
And he's the big Superman villain that's like never been in the public mainstream like every other Superman villain.
Yeah.
I would
Except for Krypton.
say, Abby, watch Krypton. Krypton has the best adaptation of Brainiac. It's so good. It's so incredible.
Is there a comic you guys would recommend for?
Superman
Off the top of my head,
Brainiac. Yeah, Superman Brainiac by Jeff Johns. It's like a 5-issue graphic novel. I believe you can find it. You might can find it at your local comic book store, but it is, I think, the most famous Superman or Brainiac run. It is also the run that directly inspired the animated movie Superman Unbound, which is pretty good.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Jackson, that curse better not happen because I'm excited to see what he's writing with this next.
Jokes aside.
Yeah. So I'm hoping also, though, that is the main villain because that's who I want to see in a Superman Supergirl movie is Brainiac be the main villain.
Yeah.
I don't know who else would be the logical version of it. Josh Brolin apparently leaked that Paula Patton is playing a role in the Lantern show, and then people are now saying that it could be like a Star Sapphire thing. That second part is just purely like speculation, rumor, but if she is in that show, she's the she was in Mission Impossible, one of them, like 3, I think.
She was in
That's
4.
one of the team.
She was in 4. She was in 4.
Wasn't 4? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really know a lot of other stuff she's in, but if she's in this show, cool. Like, I hope they actually announce it. I just think that's a weird leak that came out this week that Josh Brolin like revealed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the whole thing is going on there.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Brolin not originally up for this show?
Yeah.
As Hal Jordan?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Brolin and Obi-Wan Kenobi himself.
Ewan? Oh, that would have been cool too.
Ewan would have been cool.
Yeah. Josh Brolin, I think, would have been even more too old for Hal
After
Jordan.
watching,
I already feel like Kyle Chandler's.
Low key, after watching Weapons, I would have loved to have seen it. Josh Brolin would have killed that. Just because he was so good in Weapons.
Yeah.
So
That's
a good transition to my final news piece, Jalen, because Zach Cregger, director of Weapons, Barbarian, everyone's talking about this guy.
Jimmy,
yeah,
Jimmy, please. I know, Jimmy, make the call.
Yeah, Jackson, what happened with this guy?
Well, so Zach Cregger has had a DC script. We've known about this for a while, but it's been making the rounds again because Weapons just released. He has a DC script, and he says it's his favorite thing he's ever written. Told from the perspective of a henchman in Gotham, and it would heavily feature Harley Quinn and Joker. I need Jimmy to lock the fuck in and make this Batman movie, so then Cregger can go and do this.
I like the premise too, where he said the reason the henchman's like notable is because he accidentally like finds a way to incapacitate Batman.
That's awesome.
And then he just like the idea of all these Batman villains like never being able to one up him truly, and this one random guy like knocking him the fuck out.
No, I really hope that he gets to make this. I think they're both in a. I think the script is in a good position, and Gunn is, because Gunn has a few years anyways before Cregger could even make this, because he's about to do Resident Evil. Obviously, you need to introduce Batman before you can make this movie, but I need this so bad. Cregger is one of the more exciting filmmakers kind of working right now. So I really want to see this.
You know what it reminds me of is that Powerless show they did many years ago. I know
Yeah.
it's not the same premise, but like I loved the idea of that show of just having random people
Yeah.
in the DC universe. And people always talk about the MCU too, of like, oh, what if we followed some random civilian during the blip as a whole movie? And that's always been like a pitch that people
Uh-huh.
do. So
Wait,
this
was
would be
that-
a cool version of that.
Jackson, did you not have an idea like that?
Well, I didn't have an idea. I did a short film that with
You had
that
a
exact
short.
premise.
Mhm. It's always a thing, man. People
Yeah.
are always talking about like, what if we just do like a A24 movie and it's just like a
In the Marvel
random
universe,
couple in the Avengers.
But I think this would be different because it would so heavily involve the Joker and Harley Quinn. And I just think Cregger's so talented. Like, he would find a way to make that really interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool. Abby, how do you feel about this one? Would you want to see this one?
Yeah.
Henchman?
I feel like it'd be cool. I mean, I watch Weapons, and then I
Yeah.
watched Barbarian today.
Oh,
And so I
cool.
kind of understand Zach's style a little more. And I am like the number one fan of Silly Goofy, and so I feel
There you
like
go.
he could make that, that funny, and I would like it.
Jackson, I think you adjust some things here. This could be a Kite Man movie. That premise.
This is my Kite Man movie. That's why I want it. Like, that
Like,
was
imagine
almost the exact pitch I had for my Kite Man movie. Was just
like, imagine it's a scenario where he is a henchman.
Yeah.
He accidentally knocks out Batman, and then he gets like a head like full of himself, and he like develops Kite Man as this persona,
That's-
and he realizes he can't
Jimmy.
actually like compete with everyone.
Jimmy, please.
That'd be so fucking heat. Did you watch that video I sent you today? I sent you one of like random Kite Man fan casts.
Jerry Trainer's a good fan cast. I fuck with that.
Yeah, it was, what was it? Jerry Trainer, the guy from New Girl, and Joel McHale. And I was
Yeah.
like, any of those would be awesome.
Yeah, I would
Even
fuck
Ben
with
Schwartz would be. Just like someone of that type of comedic
Yeah.
level. Yeah, man. Cool. Well, next week we're off, and then in 2 weeks we're going to cover
I'm gonna eat this
Batman
gum now.
Assault on Arkham. Abby, thank you for joining us. It was super nice to have you.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, we'll have to see you come back again. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. See you. Bye.